Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones back with a new video. This is an open carry report for August 17th, 2025. I'm out in the truck. I finally decided to give it a try recording in a room like I used to. Um, this is a room in my own house. Uh, give shout out to my missus. She cleaned this room up, and we were moving in. I had so much stuff that things I couldn't bring inside because of I wasn't living like I was when I was a bachelor. Uh, More or less, just a lot of equipment I used to have around me. But I still got right now. I'm looking at a wall of ammo cans, a TV. Um, One of the things I'm planning on doing is hopefully getting a new laptop, so I can get back to. I do miss playing Doom. I miss playing the old Doom. I had when I did a couple of videos where I was playing a modded version of Doom on my laptop. And you saw kind of how how visceral the violence was, and how it was fun for me, especially the shotguns, because you guys know I'm a big shotgun fan, especially riot shotguns and trend shotguns. But I think this is a little bit a little bit nicer compared to the inside of the cab of my truck, which I still have. I still have the truck. Every now and then I may still do a video inside the truck, but I wanted to give this a try. I still don't have a proper tripod for my phone right now. It's sitting on uh, uh, sitting on a 5.56 ammo can. That's the 50 caliber size. um, an aluminum bracket that I made for cell phones, and is being balanced by a power pack. I got this whole goofy setup going on right now, but so far it's working, and I'm very happy about it. But if you're new to the channel, I love talking about my experience with carrying openly in South Carolina. We've been constitutional carry since March 7th, 2024. It became legal to open carry with a permit back in August 15th of 2021, which is actually a few days after I got married. And I decided I was going to record my experiences of carrying openly. Of course, I carry concealed from time to time when the situation calls for it, like if I'm at church, or if I go in. I think if I go in certain stores, I may carry concealed, but for the most part, I carry openly. I would say about 80%. No, not 80. Maybe about 90% of the time I'm carrying openly. Actually, I'm carrying openly right now. I have the rig for the Browning High Power. I did a video on it a while back, and I really dig it. And I'm actually using a duty belt that I have for some time, and a lanyard for my keys. One thing I want to get for it is a mag pouch, something that can fit on a duty belt that also that'll be compatible with the Browning High Power magazines. I guess gotta do some online shopping. The belt is from Black Hawk, but I like this rig. I was actually wearing it while I was cutting the grass this morning. Oh, when that's technically not this morning. I was cutting the grass this evening because it's really the only time you can comfortably cut grass, especially with a push mower. Uh, like so far, nothing has really gone on since the last time since the last video I did. But I did have some interesting encounters. I was picking up my daughter from daycare, and I left my gun in the truck, along with the holster, but I still had the magazine pouch on me. One of the caretakers there asked me if I was a cop. Because she saw the magazine pouch on my side, and I said no, I'm just a welder. Uh, to which she said that she's been looking into getting a gun herself. So I run into a lot of occurrences where someone may ask me a question concerning firearms because they obviously see that I'm carrying, and I figure it'd be why not share what I know, whether it be the varieties of carry options out there, the laws that are on the books, the current climate, and every now and then I still do ask people. I go in the shops, I'll ask them, do you see a lot of people carrying openly? Just kind of see if it's if it's something that's been picking up as time has gone by. Um, I got a buddy out in Tacmedic. I got a buddy out. He's out in Myrtle Beach, and he talks about every now and then he sees people carrying openly, and he says it's been picking up. Now a couple of times this happened twice. As you guys know, mainly I carry a 1911. And I think what's cool is that a lot of people who are new to firearms, and they may not even own a firearm, but they're becoming more they're becoming more ubiquitous in media, especially in video games. Especially if you know if you're a Call of Duty fan, the 1911 is a mainstay in those games. But some people don't get the name right. So I've had on two occurrences. Once in Publix, I was waiting at the deli line, and one of the guys behind the counter said, they said like you know you got your Dirty Harry thing going on. I said yes, you know it's cool. I told him I would like to own a 44 Magnum someday. I would carry a 44 Magnum openly if I had one. But and he said is that 9? He said is that a 911? I said no. I said no. It's 1911. And there's someone else. I forgot where I was, but they said is that a 911? It looks nice. I said no. It's a 1911. And I guess it's kind of like one of those clips versus magazines conversations. I didn't really dig too deep into it. I just said it's a 1911. If they got it, they it's cool. If they didn't, it's fine. They know what it looks. They can identify it just from the grip. I think it's very cool that people can tell a 1911 just from the grip, from the base plate. It's a very distinct design, and I think it's nice that you have people who, I guess who just maybe just dipping their toes into this, or maybe who haven't. They really just are kind of like on the fence. They can identify it, and they think it's pretty cool to see someone carrying one out in public. Which I think, which is one of the reasons why I do it, because I want to I want to normalize carrying a gun overall. Even though people carry concealed, which is has picked up a lot of steam over the since obviously like maybe the past decade, the past 15 years, it's really picked up. But I think carrying overall can really be picked up if people can see it, which is why I do what I do. Um, I'm very and I welcome the conversations. I love when people they'll ask me questions about what I'm if my usually is am I a cop? What kind of gun is that? And or one I think it was one play when I was in Publix when the first guy asked me if I had a 911, one lady behind the counter who was making my sandwich, she said she I think I made a comment saying it's really addictive. She said yeah I've heard that about it, and I asked her have you considered looking? She said yeah she's thought about getting her first gun, but she doesn't really know what steps there are to take. And I just shared with her, just find a good gun range. And I told her about, I'm around PSA or Shooter's Choice, and you can rent guns there, and there's always someone behind the counter who's welcome to, introduce you to different models, let you, hold them, figure out, what fits your hand, properly, different calibers, different options of ammo availability, different accessories, holsters, magazines, sights, optics. What else? Clothing. Different type. Some guns you can carry better with certain clothing than others. The sky's the limit. So it's cool for me to be able to have these conversations with other people that I run into. Just run into on during my daily travels. And that's about it. I can't really think of anything else that stood out. So far, it's just been going good. Haven't had. I got a story. I had a story I may share another time. And I had a real crazy day today. Something I saw out in public, and I didn't have to draw the guy, but I came close to it. But yeah, that's so far. That's my experience since the last video. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. With the new baby, whatever she picked up from daycare, came back home, and so I've been pretty congested, and so I'm trying to get it hasn't affected me too much, but I'm trying to clear out all this, all this sickness I want to call it. But yeah, that's my video. I hope to do more videos in the future. I may do it in this same room, and it's not a green screen. I have one of the rooms, or many of our rooms have green walls because the green is one of my favorite colors, and so. It's just the wall that we have back here. I may put up a poster. My wife she bought a poster that has a bunch of mobsters on it from different movies, from Sopranos to The Godfather, and I may put that up in the background. I may put up some some targets. Who knows? I even try to put up a gun here, which I do have a gun rack that I wanted to get probably sell to be hung up on the wall. But tell me what you think. What do you guys think I should hang up on this wall for future videos? I love everybody's comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share your opinions. Love, like I said, love hearing from viewers. And if you want to help out with the channel, go to my YouTube homepage. Look for the PayPal link and the Cash App link. All donation amounts are appreciated. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I'll see if I can do to address them. Well, that's my video. It's another open carry report for August 17th, 2025. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care. Be safe. Stay strapped. And God bless.